So who are you?
I'm Ron. I'm Ron Lynn. I'm the CTO of Card.com.
Yeah, and who are you?
I'm Ben Katz. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Card.com.
And just look at me and forget the camera's on. So what is Card.com? I have a feeling it has something to do with these cards. But,
Yeah. Card.com is making payments fair, fun, and simple, and fashionable. So we recognize that payments historically haven't been built for the average person. They've been really optimized for people with really large savings. Charities, hospitals, universities.
When you're talking about payments, because that's such a big term now, it's
Yeah.
overloaded, right? The Square just came out with the email payment. There's payments.
Sure.
What kind of payments are you talking about?
Yeah, so we
Who's
specialize.
this for?
We specialize in payments cards that are optimized for the average American with a job.
Okay.
So we make it so from the palm of your hand, you can do everything you need if you don't need an investment banker or a foreign exchange trader in your financial life.
Got it.
So if your goal is to get your paycheck and put it on, in an FDIC insured place to store your funds and then be able to spend it, get access to your cash, that's what we offer, all from your Android or your iPhone.
So you're a bank.
We're not a bank. We're a
What
thin layer of
difference is-
software on top of a bank.
Yeah, but you're talking like a bank, right? When you say I want to put my money in an FDIC insured place,
Sure.
it's a bank.
Yeah, well, it's the security of a bank, right? Because people want to know that their funds are safe. That's actually the number one thing people require of payments is
Yeah.
security and privacy, something that I know you talk about a lot. But the two top requirements our customers indicate to us are that they care about security.
I still don't get
And
why
privacy.
I need you if I have Wells Fargo or Bank of America.
Sure.
Why do we need Card.com?
Sure.
What is it that you do that Wells Fargo doesn't do?
Sure, two things. So Wells Fargo optimizes for people with a lot of money. So if you're someone
That's
who
not true.
Mhm.
You can have $50 and start a bank account.
That's true, but your bank account will cost you between $6 and $18, and you'll
A
be
year.
using
Okay.
and you'll be using a non-real-time
So
system.
this is for low end.
No, per month.
No, it doesn't cost you that much.
Sure, if you don't have a balance in Bank of America or Wells Fargo, state by state it varies, but the typical is if you're not in the top 35% of Americans, then you're paying between $96 and $300 a year for the checking account.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
What I like to say is that Card.com kind of helps brands, bands, celebrities, and causes bank their fans. And we basically do that by issuing a mobile branchless bank account that comes with a Visa debit card,
Yeah.
right? And we get to basically marry, the things that people are very passionate about in their life with a bank account.
Yeah.
And they can use that to, pay for stuff anywhere.
Interesting. So no minimum balance,
No minimum balance. It's
So I
basically
can-
software as a service payments.
software as a service.
That's right. And we just happen to be issuing a prepaid debit card right now, but we're going to expand to other forms of payments. So we'll do credit eventually. You can expect that after a few months that maybe, if someone has a balance and, they've been a customer for 6 months, like maybe they want to open a savings account. So
Interesting. My audience is usually the geekier side of the world, so most of my audience doesn't have the problem of worrying about $100 minimum.
Yeah, that's right. I mean,
balance.
America and really the entire world is truly paycheck to paycheck. We might be paycheck to paycheck with jet skis and spinning rims, but we're paycheck to paycheck. And that's just the reality of everyone who's not in the top 20%. People who live in San Francisco who make $70,000 a year, if they're not single or
Well,
if they
that's the
don't,
poverty line around here. Which sounds weird if you're somewhere else. 70 grand is like luxury living, right?
That's right.
But 70 grand in San Francisco, particularly if you have a family, that really is almost poverty.
But here's the thing, everybody expects being able to pay for stuff to be pretty much free. So whether you're rich or poor, nobody likes paying ATM fees. Nobody expects to have monthly fees when they have a bank account. So this is kind of providing a level of service that everybody expects to have, right? But the banking system isn't necessarily optimized to cater to it.
So
Okay?
what's the technology? What was the business breakthrough that allowed you to build this? Is it that you're
mobile
collecting Why the mobile phone?
Yeah, so up till now, when the ubiquity of the Android in particular reached to, let's say, the 80th percentile of Americans, there wasn't sufficient mass of humanity who had a phone that was even able, let alone trust the phone that was able, to take a picture of a check, to deposit the check, and to take the location awareness of that cell phone to find you a free ATM. So the two key things that a branch services are, one, let you deposit a check that you got from your employer without usurious fees.
Yeah.
And then two, lets you get cash out without usurious fees.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Android can find a network that we have built that's actually 3 times as large as Bank of America's ATM network, and let you use your Android phone for free to view where the free ATMs are, just the fact that we don't have a big Wells Fargo logo up doesn't mean that there's not one that's actually closer to where you live. So those two things, enabled by the Android, really, are what it is. 80% of our
you're on iPhone and Android, right?
we have both, and we find usage varies a little bit, but we find that 80% of our users who come to us on an Android type device.
Which makes sense.
Yep, and we're also, we believe, the first company in the United States in the financial services space to acquire the majority of our customers through mobile. So we are the only payments company of scale in the United States that has acquired more than half of our customers through someone's phone device.
Now I'm going to make some assumptions, so maybe they're wrong. A large percentage of this population is sending money somewhere else in the world to family.
Yeah, so that's actually a great thing to talk about. So actually, there are companies that specialize in focusing on the true underbanked, but our company kind of focuses on who we get to call direct depositing Debbie, the middle American average person who earns a paycheck, potentially from a service job that's very reliable, and she'll direct deposit her paycheck, on her Care Bears card, or her Walking Dead card, or his Zorro card, or suicide prevention awareness card, or a cute kitten card, or a tattoo card, or whatever, gay pride, amazing stuff, right? The internet's run by cats and
Personalized
dogs.
cards.
Personalized cards. And let someone self-express. And right now, their option is an expensive checking account that doesn't work in real time, so she can overdraft checks, and doesn't have, frankly, a technology backbone DNA, because the average person isn't actually banked by Wells Fargo or Chase. The average person is banked by Bank of the Ozarks or Bank of Northwestern Wisconsin, where I'm from. And those people have not invested like Wells Fargo has in the future. They don't even have the scale to allow them to hire an iOS or an Android developer, or even know what the future will hold, right? So the big banks are actually going to be fine in the kind of branchless revolution.
Yep. Interesting. And this works like a regular Visa card, so I can use it any place
Worldwide.
Visa goes.
Yeah, also at
But
ATMs.
it's a debit card, so you have a PIN number probably to put in. Yeah.
So you can get cash back at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You can get free cash out at ATMs at 23,000 locations, including, ironically, every U.S. bank,
Yeah.
like U.S. Bank, which is the 6th largest bank of the U.S.
How are you going to get to this market? Because it's probably not about going to TechCrunch or Read Write Web or Scobalizer, because we talk to the geeks and
Hey,
the audience that you want to reach.
Every
with
last
this.
person counts.
Everybody, yes, they do, but let's be honest. You're not going to reach Debbie, whatever her name is, in the Ozarks.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it?
My next door neighbor calls him Joe Bag of Donuts.
Joe Bag of Donuts.
Joey Bag of Donuts.
We're totally trying to get it at Joe Bag of Donuts, and the way we do it is because our existence on the internet today, it silos everybody into essentially their circle of friends and their circle of interests.
Yeah.
And to the extent that you can sort of be this thin layer on top of that interaction, which we are because we map to essentially anything that people can really like on Facebook,
Yeah.
and we create a customized, personalized banking experience, and use that as sort of like an optimal acquisition strategy.
Yeah. But it is probably what your investors are asking. How are you going to get to the average American, not through TechCrunch, right? So, what's your customer acquisition cost
Sure.
going to be? How are you going to get to them?
But the average American is on Facebook.
They are, but then you're talking about advertising, because
Sure.
I only reach a very, very,
Yeah,
very small
actually-
percentage of that 1 billion people on
Yeah,
Facebook.
you'd be surprised. So most people say payments aren't social, and I agree payments aren't social. They're private. I think there's a reason Blippy doesn't work, and things like that don't work. I think that, however, if you make it so every time you swipe your Walking Dead Visa card, you donate a penny to a cause that you care about, and simultaneously tweet out the fact that you donated to a cause and that other people can support that, I think that's something that can happen. Over half of our customers in the last 3 months have come to us free of charge from word of mouth. So that is someone who loves cats, who hangs out with other people, no surprise, who love cats. Or I watch Walking Dead tonight with my friends and they see that I have this Walking Dead card when we're at Starbucks together. So every time you have an affinity product, it helps generate genuine offline word of mouth campaigns, and I think there's things that we can do to accelerate that. And we do use paid. We find success. We think we're the only payments company, period, that has cracked acquiring on Facebook. And we also think that we're the only payments company that can scalably scale on Google. And we know this because before this, I built the largest seller of custom iPhone cases on the internet. So if you wanted to get an iPhone case or an Android case with a Dodgers or a Giants logo on it that says "Fear the Beard," Coveroo.com is the last company that I started.
That's a big business. I'm having dinner tonight with the guy who runs the Consumer Electronics Show, and I would say a third of his show floor, which is massive, is like customized cases for phones and things like that, right? And
yeah.
It's a big business. Well, that's cool. Where do I learn more about it?
So you can go to card.com and card.com about us. We have a great blog. And our Facebook page is actually probably the coolest thing you could check out.
Cool. Who invested in this? How you guys tell me about the company you're building?
Yeah, sure. So, again, we're issuing payments cards that are personalized. They're fun, fair, fashionable, and simple. And we optimize for the mobile phone.
So who invested in you guys?
Yeah, our lead investor is the founder of Capital One's family office called QED Investors. And they're highly involved in the company, and they believe that we're talented at what they call marketing and analysis or information-based strategy.
Yeah, no, I get it.
We have two other investors. We have Anthem Ventures from Santa Monica, second largest VC in LA, and Resolute VC, or Mike Hirschland.
Ah, very cool people. So, well, thanks for coming and showing me this.
Thanks for having us.
It's really interesting. The whole world of payments is really is taking off. How do you guys compare to Simple, by the way? I keep hearing about Simple on places. So
we optimize for the average person, whereas I believe that Simple optimizes for the tech leader and people who are really attuned to the same sorts of things that I think your viewers are, frankly.
Yeah.
And that's our focus, is just going for just amazing people with jobs who want a better mobile payments experience and like to self-express.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to watch this space. Every day it seems like something pops out of this space that's really interesting.
You might know this, but the largest credit card issuer in history, MBNA, was created on the affinity model. So if you ever got a USC or a Notre Dame Visa card or saw one, a $35 billion company was built using that model. GE has a division called GE Money that is going to be spun off in the next year and IPO separately, be a multi-billion-dollar company. Alliance Data does the Gap card, the Macy's card, the JetBlue card, the Caesars Palace card, all on Visa credit cards, but no one's done it on prepaid. And the truth of the matter is credit cards are only issued to the top 10 or 20 or 30% of the United States. And frankly, the whole world, as you know, lives on prepaid cell phone, lives on prepaid telco, probably on prepaid internet. I'm not an expert on that. And it doesn't make sense not to live current if it's a good budgeting tool, and it's actually something that maybe our congressman should look into at some point.
Good luck with that. Getting a rational Congress would be a nice thing. Anyways, thanks so much. You get it at card.com. Thanks so much
for having us in. It was nice to meet you.